Session 2. Grammar. Grammar is the biggest topic you have to learn for TKT. Normally the first two questions in Module 1 are grammar questions you need to know. Grammatical terminology. Parts of speech, nouns, verbs, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. Grammatical descriptions of language in context. Grammar comes from a Greek word meaning cut or build. We use grammar to build sentences and words. Grammar can be subdivided into sentence construction, syntax, word construction, morphology. Grammatical structure. Grammatical structure can mean two things: the arrangement of words into meaningful sentences and paragraphs. A grammar form, e.g. present perfect simple tense. A sentence is grammatically correct or well-formed if the elements of the sentence are in the correct positions. A main verb is included. There is agreement of number, person, tense, etc. Sentence structure. A sentence is composed of the following elements. Verb. To be grammatically well-formed, a sentence needs a verb. This could be a lexical verb, i.e. the verb as a single word, say, get, and go are the three most common. A verb phrase with an auxiliary verb and a main verb, may say, have got, is going. Elements of a sentence. Subject. This is the noun or phrase that goes before the verb in a sentence to show who is doing the action, e.g. John plays tennis every Saturday. Object. The thing or person that is affected by the action of a verb. Objects can be direct or indirect. Direct, we showed our pictures. Indirect, we showed him our pictures. Phrase. A group of two or more words that makes sense, but does not form a sentence because it has no main verb. Noun phrase equals that type of person is helpful. Adjectival phrase equals he is extremely helpful. Verb phrase equals he will be helping. Adverbial. A sentence element which describes the verb action and may consist of a single word, i.e. an adverb. A phrase that functions in the same way as an adverb. Examples of adverbials. She sings beautifully, adverb. She sings in a beautiful voice equals prepositional phrase. She will sing on TV one day equals noun phrase. A clause consists of a verb and, generally, a subject. It can be a full sentence or a part of a sentence. Examples of clauses with subject plus verb underlined. John likes chocolate. When the train arrives. Because it is true. Independent or main clause. A clause which can stand by itself as a sentence with the addition of a period, US English, or full stop, UK English. John likes chocolate. Dependent or subordinate clause. A clause which follows a subordinating conjunction, e.g. if, since, when, because, is dependent on another clause and cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Main clause conjunction dependent clause. I said it because it is true. We'll meet when the train arrives. Relative clause. Also called adjectival clause since it adds a description. Begins with a relative pronoun who, whom, whose, that, which or a relative adverb when, where, why, e.g. The students who were sitting near the front stood up. Adverbial clause. A clause which gives extra information about time, it happened while he was driving to work. Manner, it happened as if it were planned. Degree, it happened much faster than he expected. Condition, it will happen if you let it. Noun clause. A clause which acts as a subject or object, what you see is what you get. Sentence type sentences are generally classed as simple, compound and complex. Simple. An independent clause followed by a period / full stop. John studies every day. Compound. Two independent clauses joined by a conjunction. / like coffee and you like tea. We went to the ball game, so they went shopping. Complex. An independent clause with one or more dependent clauses. They are studying, indep, because they have a test, DEP. When the dependent clause comes first, it should be separated by a comma. Because they did well in the test, they received a prize. A dependent clause embedded in the sentence has no commas if it contains information which is essential to define the subject. The test that they completed was difficult. A dependent clause embedded in the sentence has no commas if it contains information which is essential to define the subject. The test that they completed was difficult. If the information is non-essential, it is separated by commas. The test, which they have now completed, was difficult. Punctuation. The symbols or marks used to organize writing into clauses, phrases, and sentences to make the meaning clear, i.e., capital letter, A, etc. Marks the start of a sentence, proper nouns. Full stop or period, dot. Marks the end of a sentence, abbreviations. Apostrophe, marks missing letters in contractions, possession plurals in exceptional cases, e.g., there are 4 S's in assess. Comma, separates clauses, phrases, and items in lists. Semicolon, winky face, separator similar to comma but stronger. Colon, smiley face, stronger, points to something that follows, e.g. a list, a quote, a message, an explanation, etc. Question mark. Marks a question. Exclamation mark. Shows emotion, surprise, humor, anger, etc. Parenthesis, US, or brackets, UK, strong separator for explanations or examples. Dash, marks a break in sentence flow, can substitute for commas, semicolons, colons, or parentheses / brackets. Hyphen, joins compound words. Parts of speech. Understanding grammar requires understanding parts of speech, the categories into which words fall according to their use in a sentence. Verb, lexical, linking, auxiliary and modal. Noun. Determiner. Adjective. Adverb. Preposition. Pronoun replaces a noun, that is its antecedent. Conjunction. Interjection. Verb types. Lexical. Phrasal. Copular / linking. Auxiliary. Modal. Verb pattern. The sequence of forms following a verb, e.g. He advised me to get there early. Verb pattern equals, advise plus object pronoun plus to plus base form. Verb forms. Base or root form of the verb. The uninflected form of a verb, no to, no ending, e.g. go, be, do, etc. Infinitive. Base form of a verb with to star. Used after another verb, after an adjective or noun, or as the subject or object of a sentence, e.g. 7 want to study 1, it's difficult to understand 1. Infinitive of purpose, used to express why something is done, e.g. I went to school to learn English. Split infinitive. Some experts object to the split infinitive equals putting a word, usually an adverb, between to and the verb. There is however a famous example. Star Trek, to boldly go where no man has gone before. The past participle, plus ed / n, used in perfect verb tenses. You have succeeded. Plus ed equals regular. / have eaten, etc., irregular. Verb forms. Participle. There are 2 types of participle. 1. The present participle, plus ing, used in progressive verb forms. I am eating. 2. The past participle, plus ed / n, used in perfect verb tenses. You have succeeded. Plus ed equals regular. / have eaten, etc., irregular. Gerund, or ing form. A verb form that looks like the present participle may be a noun, an adjective or a verb. Verb, love is killing, equals acting as a killer. Adjective, love is killing, equals painful. Gerund, love is killing, equals the act of love is the act of murder, i.e. a noun. Voice. Voice concerns the relative emphasis placed on the subject and object in a sentence, which also affects the word order. Active voice. The basic word order in English sentences is subject verb object. A sentence of this type is in the active voice, i.e. the actor equals subject comes first. Passive voice. The passive voice inverts the standard sentence order, making the object of the action, the sufferer, hence passive, into the subject of the sentence. The passive voice can dispense with the actor completely. The mouse was eaten, by what or whom? In the passive voice, the presence of an actor is understood but not necessarily stated, which may be useful in some cases, e.g. for neutral, objective, or diplomatic tone. Conditionals. Conditionals are verb forms that refer to possible or imagined situations. There are 4 kinds of conditionals. 0, first, second, third. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs take an object. We laid the carpet. Intransitive verbs do not take an object. I lay do. Transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verbs take an object. We laid the carpet. Intransitive verbs do not take an object. I lay down and slept. Some verbs have both transitive and intransitive forms. The river coursed through the valley. Intransitive, the hunters coursed the hare. Phrasal verbs. A phrasal verb is a verb plus a preposition or adverb, and has a separate meaning from the original verb, e.g. get, obtain, get along with, equals be friends with, us. Get away, equals escape, get away with, equals avoid punishment for, get by, equals manage, eke out a living, get down to, equals apply oneself to, get on with, equals start or continue / be friends with, uk. Get out, equals leave, get out of, leave, avoid, get over, recover from, get, over with, equals finish, get through, survive, get up, equals rise / dress up, get up to, equals do, mischief, get with, equals join, understand. Transitivity. Phrasal verbs may be transitive or intransitive. She showed up. Came, equals intransitive. She showed me up. Humiliated me, equals transitive. Separability. Some transitive phrasal verbs are separable, i.e. the object is placed between the verb and the preposition. He picked it up then put it down. He picked up it then put down it. Some are inseparable. Let me look into it. Investigate. Let me look it into. Some are both. I'll pick you up at 5. I picked up Jim at 5. Note, if separable, a pronoun must separate the verb. I'll pick up you at 5. Conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions. For introduces a reason. He went home for his mother's birthday. And links non-contrasting ideas. Rejoice and be merry. Nor presents a non-contrasting negative idea. / won't drive nor will I order a taxi. But presents a contrast or exception. I won't drive but I will take a taxi. Or presents an alternative. We can drive or take a taxi. Yet presents contrast or contradiction. It's raining yet you won't take a taxi. So presents a consequence. He wouldn't drive so we had to go by taxi. Correlating conjunctions. Correlating conjunctions work together in pairs or groups to coordinate two ideas, either do your homework or you go to bed. Not only is she clever but she is also beautiful. Neither the stocks nor the bonds are making money. Both the soccer and the baseball teams are doing well. Whether you eat or not is up to you. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions introduce dependent clauses. After, although, as much as long as soon as, because, before, if, in order that, lest, since, so that, then, that, though, unless, until, when, whenever, where, wherever, whether, while. Discourse markers. Phrases that act like conjunctions are called discourse markers. Also connectors, transitions, and linking phrases. Adding. Also besides moreover in addition additionally further furthermore what is more. Contrasting. However. On the other hand. In contrast. On the contrary. Unexpected contrast or concession. Although. Even though. Despite, the fact that, in spite of, the fact that, regardless, of the fact that. Explanation. As because since insofar as. Result. Consequently in consequence therefore as a result accordingly hence thus for this reason because of this. Condition. If. In the event of as long as so long as provided that assuming that given that. Exemplification or expansion. As a matter of fact in fact indeed. Thank you for learning and watching.